Okay, so yesterday there were quite a few of you out. That's why I sent a text to all of my Algebra 1 students letting you know that it would benefit you to watch the video. Okay, during class time we went through and did all of the odd problems together, and then the classwork / homework was the even. So for that reason, I'm not going to go over any evens today because there's a lot of people who still have to do them. If you were absent yesterday and you do the evens tonight, you can come in first thing when we get here tomorrow to 7th period and show it to me and I'll stamp it. If you were here and you just didn't have them done, you need to have them done by Monday when we turn in the packet. Okay, but I will take some questions about these, but only off the odd side. So who wants to go over one and which one off the odds? Number 15, okay. Number 15, okay. When you are asked to multiply radicals, you multiply the outside numbers first. -4 times 2 is -8. Then you multiply the numbers that are inside the radicals. They're called radicands. What's 15 times 20? 300? Okay? But then you're not finished because you can simplify that by doing a factor tree. What numbers multiply to get 300? 15 and 20. 15 becomes, and then 5, 3, 5, 2, and 2. Okay, so we circle the 5s, circle the 2s. So the only thing going back inside is the 3. Right, and so what else getting kicked out? The 5 and the 2, and multiplies together to make a 10. However, you can't forget about this -8 that was out there to begin with, and they multiply, and you get a -80 square roots of 3. Now keep in mind, guys, there's no reason for you to get these wrong on the test, because you can type in the question, -4 square roots of 15, and you can type in well, I didn't finish the question, times 2 square roots of 20. And that equals that, and then you can type in your answer and make sure you get the same thing, and then you'll know that you've done it right if you get the same thing. And we did, so we got it right. See how I typed in the question the first time, and that gave me -138.5640646, and then I typed in what I think is the right answer, and it gave me the same thing, so I know now it's the right answer for this page. There were a lot of you absent. Are you sure there's nothing else y'all want to see? Which one? Okay. Number 19. What are the outside numbers? So when you multiply those, you get a? What are the inside numbers? And when you multiply those, you get a? Okay, but 45 can be simplified by 9 times 5, or it could have been 15 times 3. 9 breaks down into a set of 3s. 5 just as prime, so we circle our 3s. Oops, too far. Hold on. And then we get rid of a 3, kick out a 3, and the 5 goes back inside. Is that the final answer? Why not? That 15 has to join with the 3. 15 times 3 is a 45 square roots of 5. And remember, there's no reason to get these wrong. Watch, I'm going to type in the question. 5 square roots of 15 times 3 square roots of 3. And that equals 100.623059. And now I'm going to type in what I think is the right answer, 45 square roots of 5. And it is, because I get the same thing. Okay, other questions? Yes? Yep. Okay, other questions? So everybody who was out yesterday understands it fine? Okay, well let's move on to today's assignment then. Okay, at the top of this assignment, you're going to write down the definition of an irrational number. Here we go. An irrational number is a real number that can't be expressed as a ratio of integers. Okay, what does that mean, a ratio of integers? What's that, just a fancy way of saying what? Fraction. Okay, so far we know that an irrational number is a real number that can't be written as a fraction. Okay, irrational numbers when written as decimal numbers do not terminate or repeat. Okay, so when you have an irrational number and it's written in decimal form, it will not terminate or repeat. Okay, so simplify each of the following and label each solution as rational or irrational. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to type this in. So the square root of 25. No, this definition is all about irrational. So if it doesn't meet these requirements, that means it's rational. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is type that in. So second x squared will produce that radical. You put a 25 under it. But then look, see that arrow blinking? You need to press arrow over to get out from under the radical, because 25 is the only thing that needs to go under it, right? And now you add 1.75 to it. Does everybody know how to type in what I've just typed in? If you don't, you need to ask somebody near you, because you're going to be in bad shape on the test if you don't even know how to type in a square root sign. Second, and then x squared. Okay, now you hit enter. Okay. This is a number, and it's written as a decimal number. Does it terminate? Yes, it stops after 0.75, right? There's no more numbers. Another thing is, an irrational number can't be written as a fraction. Everybody hit math right over here, and then see the first thing that says fraction? So hit enter, and then hit enter once more. Didn't we just turn that number into a fraction? So that means it is rational, because it could be turned into a fraction. Irrational is when it can't be. So let's look at number 2. The first thing you need to do is type it in. So the square root of 3 plus 1.75. And you get that. Does that look like a number that does not terminate or repeat? Yes. Even though on the calculator you see it stop, it continues to go on. But it's not repeating, is it? Like there's no pattern there. Also, this time if you press math and then try to turn it into a fraction by doing enter, enter, it won't. That means that number is irrational. So you need to write out the whole thing. 3.48, 20, 50, 808, and that is irrational. Do you understand how to do this? Okay, I'm going to give you a few minutes to try the remainder of the page by yourself. Okay, and then I will take questions about it at the end. And I actually might just call on you randomly to go up there and fill in the blanks. So that means you got to get them all done.